Hello, Storytelling Ron. This is going to be a tough video for me. I'm doing it reluctantly. It's a political, religious, geopolitical rant or something. But the solution is for you and me, as in the RPG world, is to bring our faith out again, to start evangelizing and wake up the church. Wake up the church in the RPG culture. We need to. This is what we do, right? RPGs. So we need to. That's part of. Christians, wherever we are, focus on whatever it is is our skills, our talents, our thing. And for you and me, it's RPGs. So we need to plan our church as a church in that culture. And the discussion is not a mocking or scoffing of us. The discussion is, oh, there they are again. We need to be out loud and proud about our Christianity. And here's why. I'm going to go over some stuff. And again, we as Christians, when we plant churches everywhere, we're not going to end evil. We're not going to get rid of evil. We're not going to end it. The goal is just to subdue it, just to bring it down a notch in society and civilize people, so they don't become barbaric and pagan and barbaric again. Paganism and barbarism is right there at the cusp of everything we do, right? The sin is always there. The church is to quell that, to hold up, to create a dam, just to keep it from flooding and going crazy. And it's getting worse today, right? You all know that. So let me just go over a couple of these things. It's exhausting, but we got to keep going. And this is a joyful way to do it, as I'm looking at all this stuff in the world, because we need to keep waking people up, because we're being lulled, and because we're lulled, the pagans are running the asylum, and because they're running the asylum, things are getting crazier and crazier. We'll never end it until Jesus comes, but we need to just tamp it down a little. But anyway, so which one do I use? Okay, I'm gonna go in this order. Okay, well, we've got RuPaul shares a Rainbow Bus giving away banned books and spreading LGBTQ literature throughout the South. So they're coming. They're after us. There's no, they're doing it. Let me move my screen over here. The funding for this, like they're paying these Gay is Good. They're paying these, this LGBTQ whatever. Where's the money coming from? I guess it's coming from RuPaul, whatever. But they're wanting to take banned books and give them out to kids. And there's plenty of pagan parents who are going to take their kids, and these kids are friends with other kids, So they're after the kids. And now, why did I bring up this one first? Because you and I, what are we doing? They're out and proud and organizing. What are we doing in the RPG culture as Christians? Are we supposed to we got to remove our faith then to play these games? Well, they're not removing their faith, right? There's how many Christian friendly RPG games are there out there? I know there's if you look at LFGs, right, on Reddit, looking for games, about a third of them are LGBTQ friendly, and the other third is adult or whatever. But I don't think there's anyone if you post a Christian friendly one, what's going to happen? It's at that level where we, why is it even at that level in the RPG culture? Why are we being told to silence our faith, yet this agenda can be pushed on everybody? Okay. Here's why you should pay attention to those deranged Trump Hitler posts. Okay, so here's this woman. She says, have you ever wondered why Germans didn't do anything about Hitler? Well, the rest of the world is wondering exactly that about Americans and Trump. And she's got a lot of followers, 56,000 hearts. So, and I posted for that. Oh, let me get that up real quick. Just do it right now. Bible. I really like Bible Hub because you get all the different translations. I mean, I think most of them do it anyway, but I just like this format. What is it? Proverbs 6. I think it's Proverbs 6. Yes. There are 6 things. Let me move that over. There are 6 things that the Lord hates, 7 that are detestable to him: haughty eyes, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked schemes, feet that run swiftly to evil, a false witness who gives false testimony, and one who stirs up discord among brothers. So that's what they're doing. They have to do that. They have to do that. They have to lie. They have to persecute us. They have to deceive. And they have to drum up violence. And that's what they're doing. And, what are we doing? Why are we letting them do this? Why are we letting them? It's not just Trump, right? It's oops, what did I do here? Oh, I clicked on the thing here. Okay. It's not just Trump. It's white nationalists, white devils, or Christian nationalists, white supremacists, all this stuff. They're constantly doing it, and they're doing it in the RPG culture as well. And we're letting them, get away with it. And I'm saying, stop letting them get away with it, and stop putting your faith away in RPGs. And how do you do it? And I've been doing it on these videos, but look, just do evangelism. Play a Christian in the game. Actually a Christian in the game. Don't replace it with another type of God or whatever. Just, you're an actual Christian in the game. Tell them it's fantasy. Just like your fantasy. Paganism is, they're saying, oh, well, it's not a real, paganism is a real world religion. So you got that in the game. Well, we have our own gods in here. Well, I got my own, this guy made up his own God called Jesus and God. And again, you don't have to play Jesus or God. And when you play the Christian, you don't have to be perfect, right? You can fail just like all the other characters. You can play just like any other character, except you bring up Jesus once in a while. That's it. After you play a Christian, you evangelize in the game. They're going to be all annoyed. You're going to get kicked out probably because you're playing a Christian. And well, that's not how we play. We fight. Well, play a Christian in there and say, I'm doing this for the Lord. I hope you all understand that this is for the Lord, but I'll help you. I'll use my healing, my bless. I'm a paladin. I'm a fighter. I'm a thief. I do this for the Lord. The Lord is the only way. To say that, you don't even have to. You can be amongst those pagans and unbelievers and just say a couple of things. And if it's for the Lord, I will not do that. For the Lord does not allow me to murder and kill wanton. Let me talk to them. Let me, figure it out, but do it. Because this is what's happening. They're wanting to get us rounded up, put into gulags, murdered on the streets, persecuted in the courts, legislatively attacked all the time. They want to do this to us. So they're taking away all our rights and screaming whenever we complain. So it's time. I'm just saying it's time, Look at this. Michael Moore says, to Israel, it's very, the devil, he's doing the devil's work, child of Satan. And I felt his very first documentary, Michael and Me, I remember that. I remember how we all laughed and enjoyed it and loved it. And to me in the Bible, it says, in the future that they'll have these people come and you'll look at them in magical ways and you will think that they are the savior or, angels or whatever. I think it was this. I was looking up at this movie and it was all beautiful and wonderful and hilarious. And we were all, oh my gosh, those corporations, those capitalists, we all hated it. And I was a young college kid or whatever, when he made that Michael and Me. It turns out he lied about that. He had 2 interviews with Michael, the guy who ran the car company. He had 2 interviews. The guy didn't know who he was. He just did an interview with him. It turns out he was a liar. And then when the guy tried to say that to people, he was an old guy, whatever. Everyone hated him. They didn't want to hear about it. And so this guy actually lied about his first documentary, and it wasn't. And we all believed in documentaries. Like, I don't believe in documentaries anymore. I really just don't trust them anymore. I mean, I do enjoy a few, but I don't. Documentaries are becoming a spiritual gods to the pagans. It's truth. On Netflix, all these like murder documentaries that then exonerate the murderers. Documentaries are lies these days, and they're manipulative. And they're the worst, they're not, because they don't have, they do a couple of edited bits. They don't have to do any sort of real research. They don't have to do any bibliographies or footnotes. And so that you can go and research yourself and get the other point of view. The documentary is a very controlling type of point of view. But especially when they don't tell you where they stand at the beginning. Anyway, so Michael Moore is saying here, and I'm not going to play the video or anything, but he's saying, tells Israel to stop fighting Palestinians, the Muslims, and worry about white Christians because of the Spanish Inquisition. So the Spanish Inquisition is absolutely something you and I should be grateful for, because the Reconquista and the Spanish Inquisition were the Spaniards ousting Islam from Spain, and who had occupied them for 700 years, 1,500 years total, I think. 600 to... And they brutally took over Spain, and Christians were persecuted horrifically, like today. Same thing. Raping, pillage. This whole thing about October 7th in Israel being, and then they're saying do a ceasefire is ridiculous. And being shocked at what the whole... Okay, they don't just do rape. They did sadistic rape. I mean, rape isn't enough for Islam and terror. Sadistic rape. I don't even want to go into it. I've read it, a bunch of stuff, and I it's just exhausting and horrific. And the reason is, it's happened before, over and over and over. I've read Islamic stuff in the past that have depressed me greatly. What they've done, especially to girls, throughout history. And imagine being in that sort of horror throughout history. Barbary Coast slavers rained terror upon Europe for thousands of years, or not thousands, hundreds of years, on Italy, on Greece, on Spain, that whole coast. They even went up to England and even to Iceland. Horrific slavery and horrific raiding. Islam has done this over and over, and there's no surprise here. And I'm surprised. Biggest surprise I had was how Israel had de-armed its people. They're so progressive. They had disarmed their people. I can't believe that. I'm shocked. And now they're open. They're sort of opened up to allowing them to apply for a certificate to get 100 bullets instead of 50. And they're allowing the process to go quicker. It only takes a week now. I'm like, what? I'm very angry at that they did that to their own people. And Netanyahu, I know that they're very progressive, the Israel, but I'm sort of upset at Netanyahu and the religious Orthodox side for not fighting that. Like, it's in the Bible. It's in the Old Testament. Saul was disarmed. All the Jews were disarmed when Palestine, the Philistines, who are not Islamic, they worshipped other gods. I'm sure it's the same though, but they were persecuting. And remember, the Philistines and the Jews are the same people. Actually, they're the same. They've been at the struggle since. Oh, you all know. Was it Jacob and, or I don't know, whoever the freak the dude is, the one that got born from Abram. You know what I'm talking about. Okay, so the real enemy is evil white Christians. That's what they're saying, and here we are silencing ourselves in the RPG culture. But they're saying this, they're saying hate Christians. And I just saw a video where a guy was talking about how in Gen Con you'll get kicked out if you put your Christian faith out. You will be just barred forever from Gen Con, which is like the biggest RPG cult thing, where everyone goes to start. Everyone goes to Gen Con to either get a game or to have their livelihood in the gaming industry, in the RPG culture. And Christians are not allowed. I mean, they don't say it outright, but they do blacklist you if you believe in one man, one woman, male and female, no trans, no gay. If you don't believe in that, you believe it's a sin, you're not going to be able to have a livelihood in the RPG culture. And as Christians, what are you doing allowing that? Where's our voices? You need to speak up. You need to push back on that now. Look what's happening. Look at what they're doing. The cruise I want to do a Reconquista RPG now. I mean, persecution and violence against Christians. Don't expect protests. So, the Muslims are on the move. 5,000 Christians last year were killed in faith-related slayings, over 90% of which took place in Nigeria. But the oppression, it used to be 2 years ago, which I'm still with, 55 nations have oppressed Christians in some large way. All Muslims except China, North Korea, Somalia, Libya. Wait, these are the guys right? North Korea, Somalia, Libya, Eritrea, I don't know, and Yemen. It is now 78 countries are persecuting Christians. 78. Okay. It used to not be 78. So what are we doing? Why are we silencing ourselves willingly in the RPG culture? It used to be 55. The broad definition is restrictions, pressure, discrimination, opposition, disinformation, injustice, intimidation, mistreatment, marginalization, oppression, intolerance, infringement, violation, ostracism, hostilities, harassment, abuse, violence, ethnic cleansing, and genocide. So these are the things that are going. China and North Korea are official Marxist, atheist, political, and social systems. They claim they have freedom of religion, but they cannot be a foreign influence, right? Marxism was done by an atheist Jew in Russia, and yet China and North Korea can't stand Christianity because it's from a foreign white man. It's not even from a white man, for crying out loud. Christianity is from a Jew. Christianity is from a Jew, and Marxism is from a Jew. And by the way, that is the conspiracy theory of all time. And I actually agree with that conspiracy theory. Why do Jews have so much power? Well, because they're the chosen God of people. That's why. And Satan is on them as well. So that's why they have so much evil power as well. They have, their Christianity came from Judaism. Marxism came from Judaism. All the good and all the bad kind of things that are in the world that are sort of affecting the world come from Judaism, because God chose those people as the chosen people, and the devil is right on top, is right on their backs, more than he is on ours, to get them to be evil. So, and I love the Jewish people. I love Israel. I do. And I fear for them. But some will come, some will become Christians again, and Jesus Christ, and okay, whatever. So we're being persecuted at high levels of, violence here in 26 nations in sub-Saharan Africa. I got to do this one next, this White Devils, the African Squadron, that's my little way of taking up the cross for Christ, is this RPG culture. And I'm asking you to do the same in the RPG culture, if that's what you love. So I'm just looking at this real quick if I want to bring this up, but this is a great article. Look at this picture. This is in the Civil War, the Union soldiers. Look at, they got a freaking chaplain. Look, he's got his old uniform. He's got a tent here. Look at them all surrounding him and wanting to get a prayer. And there's a picture pose, obviously, but still you can tell, look at, they've got some nuns here, some ladies. This is Union soldiers, man, probably going to war soon. The most brutal war to end slavery against the Democrats. And we're canceling this. We're canceling this guy. We're canceling the Republican Party. We're canceling white colonials, white devils that are trying to free the slaves. This is what's getting persecuted today. And who's running it? The Democrats again. And they're enslaving us. They want, everything they want to do is control. They want to control the elections. They want to control our schools. They want to control hospitals. They want to control your what you get paid. They want to control your business. That's slavery. That is slavery. What a depressing video, right? So, and this is the last day of my Kickstarter, or at least this Kickstarter. I got to keep hustling and working on this stuff and working on stuff, because I'm just, to keep busy and do it as a ministry and maybe a business. I don't know. I'm just trying, but it's tough. I need Christian men to step up and start doing the GMing and playing. And I really need someone out there to play this, put it on YouTube. Please create your own game, create your own Christian game using this system. I would appreciate it. The Apostles one is very easy for you to kind of, without having to study history or do anything. Dark Ages is more kind of like look at history. Christian Space is a little tougher too, because I'm trying to create the galaxy for you and me to use. So I'm working on it right now, and the Kickstarter is helping me push myself harder. And that's another thing I do like about Kickstarter is, well, one, to make money, but two, to push me to work harder and focus. When you get paid, you feel way more encouraged, and you pay some bills. So that's what this one. But Apostles of APOC, I would recommend as your starter if you want to do one, because it's very open ended and very hex crawly. So you can randomly roll different areas and then make up any pagan religion you want, because it's post-apocalyptic. So the survivors are all making up their own religions, and they don't really, so it could be anything. It could be a totem, a rock, a beast, and you could just make up silly, slogans for what they say. So anyway, and I got plenty of assets there for you to use. So please, someone out there, give me an Apostles of the APOC live stream actual play. Please, I need some entertainment. Please. Anyway, so all this stuff I've been showing you is Christians are being persecuted. It's time. It's the end times. It is technically always going to be closer and closer to the end times, waiting for Jesus. But in the meantime, take up the cross and do something. And I'm giving you a way to do something, and it's fun, even in this horrific world of pain and suffering that we see. Nothing, powerless to do anything about it. But the power you have right now is to be a messenger in what you do know, and it's not a burden. The yoke is light. It's enjoyable. I feel like I'm cheating a little by doing this and not doing other things, but I think, we need to do what we enjoy for the Lord. So that's what I'm offering here and you guys that are Christian RPGers. All right. Let me get to work. I got a lot of work to do for the Kickstarter and and I got to work on a creation tour thing, and I got to work on, I'm going to a homeschool convention in a few months. My sister is making me go. So I got to get some books together for that. Here in Southern California, great homeschool convention. So in the game of life for the Lord, roll holy dice.